6 p.m. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister says Pakistan does not want any conflict between Iran and Saudi Arabia, as it can have far-reaching implications in the region. Pakistan and Iran have agreed that the complex issues between Saudi Arabia and Iran should be resolved through dialogue for regional peace and stability. The Special Assistant on Information and Broadcasting says the visit of Prime Minister to Iran would lead to peace and security in the Gulf region. Pakistan says United Nations decolonization agenda will remain incomplete without a just resolution of the Kashmir dispute. The Russian president says Moscow can play a key role in the Middle East as it enjoys good relations with Iran and the Arab world. In Japan, 23 people have been killed after a powerful typhoon hit the country. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan says Pakistan does not want any conflict between Iran and Saudi Arabia, while recognizing the complexity of issues between the two countries. He was addressing a joint news conference along with the Iranian President Hassan Rouhani after the meeting in Tehran today. The two sides agreed that issues between the two countries should be resolved through political means and dialogue for regional peace and stability. Prime Minister Imran Khan said,
Saudi Arabia has been one of our closest friends. Saudi Arabia has helped us when we have been in need. And so the reason for this trip, that we do not want a conflict between Saudi Arabia and Iran. We recognize that it's a complex issue, but we feel that this can be resolved through dialogue. But what should never happen is a war between Saudi Arabia and Iran, because this will not just affect this whole region. Our two brotherly countries will be affected, but this will cause poverty in the world.
Imran Khan unequivocally said this is purely an initiative of Pakistan and no one has asked us to do this. He said Pakistan will play the role of facilitator rather mediator in sorting out the differences between the two brotherly Muslim countries. He said he will visit Saudi Arabia on Tuesday with a positive state of mind and will emphasize the importance of dialogue between Tehran and Riyadh to resolve differences. The Prime Minister appreciated Iran for extending support to the people of occupied Kashmir. He said more than 8 million Kashmiris are under curfew for over 2 months and are suffering and confronted with innumerable difficulties. Earlier, President Hassan Rouhani said Iran and Pakistan are brotherly Muslim countries and have deep-rooted friendship. He said, in our meeting today, we discussed to enhance deep strategic relations between the two brotherly countries. He expressed the hope that Pakistan and Iran could work together for regional peace. Hassan Rouhani said we also discussed the developments in the Persian Gulf and the Sea of Oman, which are very critical regions. The Iranian president emphasized that any goodwill gesture will be responded by goodwill gesture and deeds. Hassan Rouhani said both the leaders had a consensus that the key to establish peace in the region is to stop the war in Yemen. He appreciated the Prime Minister for visiting Iran and discussing a variety of issues which Tehran considers very significant for the region and the entire world. The Iranian President Hassan Rouhani hosted a luncheon in honor of Prime Minister Imran Khan in Tehran today. The Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Information and Broadcasting, Dr. Firdaus Ashikawan, says the visit of Prime Minister Imran Khan to Iran would lead to peace and security in the Gulf region. In a tweet today, she said the role of Imran Khan for ending tensions in the region is reflective of the confidence of the world and the Muslim Ummah on his leadership capabilities. Firdaus Ashikawan said all over the world, the Prime Minister is introducing a new, determined, confident, dignified, and bright face of Pakistan. She said the speech of Imran Khan at the United Nations General Assembly was the address of a world Muslim leader, and he boldly represented the entire Muslim Ummah. The International Labour Organization will launch Gender Project in Pakistan to promote equal employment opportunities for women in the country. The project will be launched in collaboration with the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade and Development, Canada. The project has three main objectives, including strengthening national mechanisms to promote equal employment opportunities for women, enhancing women's skills, and to strengthen the capacity of media to raise awareness on issues related to working women, informal and informal economy. The Pakistan Railways launched a special train today to facilitate the Sikh community on the 550th birth anniversary celebrations of Baba Guru Nanak Dev Ji from Nankana Sahib to Karachi. The train left Nankana Sahib this morning for Karachi via Shorecourt Cantonment, Khanewal, Rohri, Nawab Shah, Shahadpur, Hyderabad and Karachi Cantonment, and will reach the Karachi city at 11:50 a.m. tomorrow. The train has been adorned with pictures of Baba Guru Nanak Sahib's birthplace of Nankana Sahib and last place Darbar Sahib Kartarpur, as well as other religious things. This is Radio Pakistan. The Minister for Kashmir Affairs in Gilgit-Baltistan, Ali Amin Gandapur, has urged the world community to come forward to halt the Indian atrocities on innocent people of Indian-occupied Kashmir. Talking to a private news channel, he said it is high time for the world community to break its silence on the long-standing Kashmir dispute. The minister said India has committed violations of United Nations resolutions on Kashmir, besides sabotaging peace efforts made by Pakistan for regional peace. He said the entire Kashmir Valley is bleeding as Indian forces are killing, torturing, and perpetrating grave human rights violations. Ali Amin Gandapur also urged the international media to highlight this lingering issue, realizing the sensitivity of the dispute. Pakistan has reminded the United Nations that its decolonization agenda would remain incomplete without a just settlement of the Kashmir dispute based on Security Council resolutions. Speaking to the United Nations General Assembly's Special Political and Decolonization Committee, Pakistan's permanent representative to the world body, Maliha Lodhi, said India illegally annexed Jammu and Kashmir on 5th of August this year, turning it into the world's largest prison. Dr. Maliha Lodhi said Pakistan will remain the voice of Kashmiris at all international fora, especially the United Nations, until justice is done and they're able to exercise their inalienable right to self-determination. The Russian President Vladimir Putin has said Russia can play a key role in the Middle East as it has good relations with Iran and the Arab world. In an interview with the Saudi television today, he said nobody in Saudi Arabia or the United Arab Emirates wants a confrontation with Iran. Vladimir Putin condemned the attacks on Saudi Aramco oil facilities and suggested that seizing tankers and attacking oil infrastructure would not undermine positive Saudi-Russian relations. Putin will visit Saudi Arabia tomorrow and will hold meetings with King Salman and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. In Kenya, at least 10 policemen were killed when their vehicle struck a homemade bomb near the border with Somalia. The police believes that the device was planted by Al-Shabaab militants. No one has so far claimed responsibility for the attack. In Japan, 23 people have been killed and 16 are still reportedly missing after the most powerful typhoon hit the country. Tens of thousands of troops and rescue workers are deployed to save stranded residents and fight floods caused by Typhoon Hashib, which is one of the worst typhoons to hit the country in recent history. More than 800 flights were cancelled and bullet train services put on halt in the worst hit areas. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe convened an emergency meeting and sent the minister in charge of disaster management to the affected areas. In Poland, general elections are being held to elect 460 members of the lower house of the parliament and 100 senators. According to Poland's constitution, representatives for both the lower and the upper house will be chosen for a 4-year term each. And finally, the weather. Mainly dry weather is expected in most parts of the country, while cold and dry weather in northern areas during the next 12 hours. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link, facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News official